My new vagina won't make me happy, and it shouldn't have to, is the subheadline. And Andrea Long-Chu writes, next Thursday, I will get a vagina. The procedure will last around 6 hours, and I'll be in recovery for at least 3 months. Until the day I die, my body will regard the vagina as a wound. As a result, it will require regular painful attention to maintain. I have a suggestion for you. Just a thought. I mean, if it's not until Thursday, disaster can be averted, and you can just call the whole thing off and, keep Captain happy. And this is what I want, writes Andrea Long-Chu, but there is no guarantee it will make me happier. In fact, I don't expect it to. That shouldn't disqualify me from getting it. Sure, you guys sort that out and get back to us later, would you?
You're listening to The Chris Plant Show. If you can't seem to stay ahead of your bills, then this message is for you. How would you like to have a large portion of your credit card debt, medical bills, and department store debt forgiven? National Credit Card Relief would like to give you free information on a proven debt forgiveness program. This program has been used by thousands to legally forgive millions in unsecured debt. It's not bankruptcy. It's not consolidation. This special program actually wipes clean the portion of your debt that is forgiven from what you owe your creditors. Call for free information and get all your questions answered in the first free call. The more you owe, the more you can save. If you have at least $10,000 or more in credit card bills, this debt forgiveness program can be very effective. Call for free information and find out more now. 800-291-6670. There is no cost or obligation for the information. Don't wait. Call 800-291-6670. That's 800-291-6670. Get your debt problem solved. Call 800-291-6670 today. Not available in North Dakota.
If you or someone you know is struggling with addiction, please call this toll-free number right now. 800-390-9528. That's 800-390-9528. By calling your addiction, you're taking the first steps to recovery. The help you need could be one call away. 800-390-9528. Make the free call now. 800-390-9528. Your addiction team is a third-party advertiser for various treatment centers and placement networks. Individual results will vary. Visit youraddictionteam.com or /parent for more information.
That was sort of the problem when I was younger. 2 cigarettes, 3 cigarettes. It wasn't a habit. My mom, she was always like, you need to get rid of it. Gave the Jew a real chance. Found out I liked it. Found out it really worked. The switch was easy. It was a no-brainer, really. It came from her, really.
Patrick made the switch December 2016. Make the switch at JUUL.com. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Oh, hey.
Hey, did you hear? My friend's company was the victim of an email impersonation program.
This is serious for everybody.
What if cyber criminals target us and trick accounting into making a wire transfer?
Don't worry, we have Barracuda.
So we're secure?
Yeah. Barracuda uses artificial intelligence to detect and block spear phishing and account takeover attempts.
What a relief.
Don't become a victim. Protect your business at Barracuda.com. Barracuda, your journey secured.
If you or someone you know is struggling with addiction, please call this toll-free number right now. 800-390-9528. That's 800-390-9528. By calling your addiction team, you're taking the first steps to recovery. The help you need could be one call away. 800-390-9528. Make the free call now. 800-390-9528. Your addiction team is a third-party advertiser for various treatment centers and placement networks. Individual results will vary. Visit youraddictionteam.com /parent for more information.
If you're using credit card, Michael Reed on the other team is building the world's largest list of products for fitting. Most get put on the swings, deeper on the electric floor. He wants that loss around to find fuck you down. But when Michael was ready to turn his dream into a groovy reality, he used credit card. To help him find the best product rewards credit card for him.
continue to empower the party? How do you think California became a one-party state? They want a one-party country. That's the bottom line. They don't care about the children. If they cared about the children, they would have addressed this when Obama was separating children from parents.
Mark Levin is on the radio weekday evening from 6 to 9. WPRP 790 WPRP.
Lots of border updates, lots of action down there. We are at 888-630-9625, 888-630-9625. Hope everybody had a happy, harmonious, peaceful, uncomplicated Thanksgiving with family, and that it was good and not crazy, as so many things are these days. A whole bunch of stories having to do with Democrats and their gender issues. When President Obama became president, there were two genders and then a very little bit of wiggle room built in there. Can you say wiggle room in this context? I think no. I think the answer is no. Wiggly room, and now there are 58 at Facebook plus. It's great. My new vagina won't make me happy. I don't think Rachel ever said that. That's not one of her things. I'd like to say, writes Andrea Longchu, I'd like to say that being trans is the second worst thing that ever happened to me. The worst was being born a boy. Wow, that's kind of complicated. I'm not sure what I can do about all that. Woo! There you go. And just to add to the discussion, the Washington Examiner with a piece over the weekend, college professor, wanted to use a student's name instead of gender pronoun. Now he's suing the school for forcing him to use it. College professor in Ohio is being forced to fight back against the university that is reprimanding him for refusing to refer to a student with a pronoun that differs from his gender at birth. That this is even an issue in college, let alone something that can get a university professor nearly fired, is not only outrageous, but also absurd. College should be a place where students learn, sharpen their minds, and determine a vocation, not a place to engage in a debate over social justice issues and political correctness, writes the Washington Examiner and Nicole Russell. But it is pretty wacky. According to the Kansas City Star, the student threatened to have the professor, Nicholas Meriwether, fired at Shawnee State University in Portsmouth, Ohio, teaching a transgender student. The student was male, but identified as female, wanted to be addressed as ma'am instead of sir. But you're a boy. You're male. You want me to call you ma'am?
This is the Chris Plant Show.
President Trump is pushing back against claims he has abandoned a concrete wall on the border, despite his own outgoing Chief of Staff John Kelly saying the idea was ruled out. The president tweeting, quote, "Some areas will be all concrete, but the experts at Border Patrol prefer a wall that is see-through." A video obtained by the Arizona Republic newspaper shows shelter staffers abusing migrant children. Diane Gallagher reports the case is being turned over to the Maricopa County Attorney's Office for possible criminal prosecution.
It appears that around the same time these were published, the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office announced that it was going to turn the case over, this investigation, which apparently happened back in September, over to the county attorney's office to determine whether or not criminal charges need to be placed here.
A weekend presidential tweet saying a trade deal with China is close sent stock futures higher, and the opening bell is happening right now. I'm Michael Toscano.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I haven't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house,
put a lien in your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louis found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $500 million for their clients.
Optima Tax has helped me. They calm me down. They make me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louis has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't want to earn it anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louis.
If you are the IRS, don't want to loan, give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-627-7754. 800-627-7754. 800-627-7754.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Winter is the perfect time to have tree work done at your home or business. So call the experts at Tree Solutions by Plainfield at 800-294-5296. With leaves off the tree, their licensed and trained professional arborist can work more cost effectively to get the job done. Plus, call Tree Solutions by Seascape now. You'll save 10% on any winter tree work. That includes tree removal, trimming, crop grinding, pruning, brush clearing, and deer repellent. The best lawn guys are the best tree guys. Tree Solutions by Seascape. Frozen ground means less vehicle damage to your lawn and less damage to the annual and perennial trees that are dormant this time of year. Winter is here, so take care of those dangerous trees before the snow or ice does it for you, causing damage to your home or property. Tree Solutions by Seascape has the latest equipment available so they can get to the hard to reach places that typical bucket trucks can't. Call Tree Solutions by Seascape now and save 10% on winter tree work. 800-294-5296. SeascapeInc.com.
A better life with Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
Just how dangerous can soup be? Well, a lot. It's just too hot. I'm Dr. Sanjay Gupta, CNN's chief medical correspondent. Instant soup is the cause of 1 in 5 scald burns in children. A scald burn is a burn caused by liquid or steam as opposed to one caused by dry heat. Researchers at Emory University, where I teach, estimate instant soups are to blame for nearly 10,000 pediatric burns in the United States every year. The study's lead author said she thinks there's an assumption that instant soups are safer than soups coming off a stove, when in fact they're not. As a parent, it's important to supervise young children when they're handling hot soup. And if your child does get burned, experts say the most important thing you can do is get the clothing off and immediately run the affected tissue under cold water. After you're done doing first aid, if you see any blistering, you should take your child to see a doctor. I'm Dr. Sanjay Gupta, helping you live a better life.
Attention all authors. Page Publishing is looking for authors. Have you written a book and want to get it published? Page Publishing will get your book into bookstores and for sale online at Amazon, Apple iTunes, and other outlets. They handle all aspects of the publishing process for you. Printing, cover art, publicity, copyright, and editing. Call 800-501-3689 now for your free author submission kit. That's 800-501-3689 for your free author submission kit. Again, 800-501-3689.
Hi, it's me, your nose. I'm so congested. Use the Vicks Sidex nasal spray, would you? Mouth breather. Yeah, the Vicks Sidex nasal spray. Starts working in seconds and lasts for up to 12 hours. Vicks Sidex nasal spray is incredible. I feel like a whole new nose. Oh, let's find new parts we can smell it. Oh, we're really breathing now.
For nasal congestion relief, get Vicks Sinex and breathe freely fast. Use as directed. 790 WTRB.
The Democrats for weeks now have been telling us there is no caravan, the caravan's not coming, the caravan's never going to get here, there's no such thing as the word caravan, that they're not going to storm our border. And then it happens, as was perfectly predictable, notwithstanding the falsehoods that were being peddled, and they change their narrative. They just turn on a dime, and it's quite remarkable the ability they have to seamlessly step from one pack of lies to the next pack of lies, the Maxine Waters of the world and their news media allies, the Democratic news media allies. Just remarkable how comfortable they are lying about everything, and that's just it. Maxine Waters is a complete nutcase, obviously. I don't know if she knows whether she's lying or not. but I know whether she's lying or not, and she's lying. And she's got a new pack of lies that they're peddling. And again, MSDNC, I was watching this morning, and they talked about the caravan and the clashes at the border for about 20 minutes, and it was all just an attack on Trump, of course. And they never showed video. It's a TV show. And there's all kinds of video of the clashes, and they didn't show. They showed some still photographs. They never showed video because it would show the large swarms of overwhelmingly men, military-age men, running across this man-made concrete gully, this river, and attacking the fences and making their way through, and the tear gas, and you see that it's almost all grown men. And so they wouldn't show that because that would show that they've been lying for weeks about all of this. So just like when Jim Acosta was on Manderson Cooper, and they're talking about whether Jim Acosta laid hands on or touched the young woman, the intern who was supposed to take the microphone from one reporter to another, CNN just didn't show the video. They just well, we're going to sit here and we're going to let Jim Acosta say that he never touched her, and in order to back him up, we're going to not show the video because the video shows that he's clearly lying. And now the news media and Morning Joke in particular, DNC TV, they've been lying for weeks and weeks about we're not going to reach our border. They're 1,000 miles away, weeks and months away. When they get here, they're not going to clash with our border. We're not going to do what they did in Guatemala. And then indeed, precisely that happens. And at MSNBC, they just don't show the video and attack Trump. That's their program. That's what they do. That's who they are. Crazy, man. Crazy. And in the meantime, the Democrats and their genders, just remarkable stuff. This whole story about the college professor who has a male student who says that he's female, and he says, "Call me ma'am, not sir." And the professor at Shawnee State University in Portsmouth, Miss Ohio, says Nicholas Meriwether is the professor. He said, "No, you're male, and I'm not going to call you ma'am. How about that?" And so the student took it to the administration, and the administration said, "No, you've got to call him ma'am if he wants you to call him ma'am, because he identifies as ma'am, as a woman, even though he's a man. So you just have to go along with what Hillary Clinton calls the willing suspension of disbelief," which is not a phrase that she invented or anything, but she's been credited with it, strangely enough. And the college, the Kansas City Star, reports that the student threatened to have Meriwether fire the professor if he refused to call him ma'am, and went on to alert school officials. University officials told the professor he had to use transgender pronouns and said he had created a hostile environment for the distressed student. While Meriwether has not yet been fired, he did sue officials from the university. Now the professor is seeking damages, claiming his First Amendment rights were violated. Defending Freedom, who is representing Professor Meriwether, said in the lawsuit, quote, "They demand this even though the concept of gender identity is entirely subjective and fluid, even though the number of potential gender identities is infinite." We have an infinite number of gender identities available to us now, with over 100 different options currently available. They've got more than 100 different gender options. This is the Democrat Party. And even though the number of potential pronouns has likewise multiplied in recent years, all for the purpose of lending credence to cultural ideas Dr. Meriwether does not share or wish to advance. End quote. Of course, the university claims it's trying to respect its professors' deeply rooted religious beliefs and every student's right to equal treatment. But so far, it does not appear that has actually materialized. This isn't about the pronoun, it's about endorsing an ideology. The university favors certain beliefs, and it wants to force Professor Meriwether to cry uncle and endorse them as well. That's right, the left lays down rules, no matter how lunatic they may be. And if you don't adhere to them, if you don't submit to them, like Islam, succumb to them, if you do not kowtow to the bullying, isn't that the word they like, militant, lunatic left on this gender issue, then they will destroy you. They will destroy your career. They will take away your livelihood. They'll probably threaten to put him in jail before all is said and done, because that's who they are. And in the meantime, Andrea Long Chu doesn't think that Andrea Long Chu's new vagina, which Andrea Long Chu is getting this week, will make Andrea Long Chu happy. I don't really need to go through this process with you, do you? I don't know you. I wish you nothing but the best in your struggle. I understand you're dealing with some very serious issues there. They are, I believe, mostly psychological in nature, and I wish you nothing but the best. But why the New York Times needs to harangue me about whether Andrea Long Chu's new vagina is going to make Andrea Long Chu happy or not, I just don't know. So he, I guess Andrea is a he now because he's having the installation job done on Thursday. And they're going to put in 12-point speakers too, which is kind of nice, and a 6 CD changer. Just in case. There is yet another one. The people at Netflix have been in a fight with a person they call a filmmaker who is from Belgium. The show is called, or movie is called Girl. And Girl is, as you might imagine, about a boy. Because what else would a movie called Girl be about? In liberal land, the filmmaker is a person named Lucas Dont, D-H-O-N-T. Filmmaker Lucas Dont is at odds with Netflix after the streaming giant said it would edit an underage frontal nudity scene from his directorial debut, Girl. The movie, starring a then 15-year-old Victor Polster. Now, I'm not making this stuff up. I'm not making up Long Chu. I'm not making up this Andrea Long Chu. I'm not making up this Victor Polster. He took a poll and then the movie starring then 15-year-old Victor Polster centers around the trials and tribulations of a transgender girl training to become a ballerina. When they say transgender girl, what they mean is a boy. Am I right about that?
That ain't no woman. It's a man.
We're talking about a young person with male genitalia, external genitalia, which everyone casually refers to as a girl. Girl received rave reviews, that's a shock, following its May premiere at the Cannes Film Festival in France, scoring 4 awards, that's not at all surprising, and a distribution deal with Netflix, The Hollywood Reporter wrote. None of that is surprising at all. Now the film, Belgium's official entry into the foreign language Oscar race, it's done, it's a done deal. If you go to the odds makers in Vegas, ask them what are the odds of this film winning the Oscar, the odds are 1 in 1. There's a 100% probability that this is going to win, unless they've got like, concentration camp transgender story that they can tell, something like that. Squeeze this one out. Belgium's official entry into the foreign language Oscar race is the subject of controversy following Dont's comments in a European newspaper that the streaming giant Netflix had plans to edit out a scene of full frontal nudity of its star, then 15 years old. You go to jail for this in the United States of America. You go around peddling naked pictures of 15-year-olds or Walter Brennan, and you go to jail. Actually, Walter Brennan, I think, would be okay. 15-year-old naked boys who identify as girls' pictures, and Netflix has said, oh, what the hell we're going to show? Because, we don't want to be on the wrong side of political correctness here. So we're going to be on the side of kiddie porn. There's political correctness on one side, the left. And then there's kiddie porn in the Department of Justice. And they've decided, screw the Department of Justice and the law and the whole kiddie porn thing. It's, it's politically correct, so we're going to go with the PC thing. Since then, it seems Dont has come to a rapprochement, that they like French things, according to a statement from the director released through Netflix to The Hollywood Reporter. Regarding reports made this week in the Belgian media, we as filmmakers had some internal conversations with Netflix in which we discussed how some of the material in girl kitty porn could possibly be received outside of Europe. What is this? Is Roman Polanski in this? They have Roman Polanski in a hot tub with Quaaludes and champagne. What do they have here? We were given the option to be able to edit the film, and it always was a dialogue in which the filmmakers had the strongest say. The director said in a statement through Netflix, the version of Girl that will be shown on Netflix will be the same version that premiered in Cannes and in theaters in Belgium and other parts of the world. So they're standing firm, you see, with the kiddie porn industry and these porn peddlers with the 15-year-old naked boy full throttle nudity, and they're saying it's a matter of principle for them that they be in the kiddie porn business. And Netflix, in case you haven't canceled Netflix yet, now they're doing underage porn. I think that this is, if you had these pictures on your laptop and you were a school teacher or something, you would go to a penitentiary. Am I right about that? I'm not a lawyer, but I'm pretty sure that that's the case. But in Democrat land, this is art. And the underage naked boys identifying as girls, I guess, provides a kinky thrill for a lot of people in today's Democrat Party. Along with my new vagina won't make me happy, and it shouldn't have to. I agree it shouldn't have to. I agree to some degree or another with Andrea Long-Chu. And of course, Mr. Polster, the 15-year-old Polster. I guess now he's 16 or something like that. Aren't they remarkable people? This is today's America, today's Democrat Party. Another remarkable story from CNN over the weekend. This is kind of a hoot, another